Welcome back, Halo followers. Today, I wanted to share my honest thoughts and brutal opinions about Halo, the TV series that is coming on March 24th of Season 1 on Paramount+. It has been 9 years since 343 announced that Halo was going to get a live-action TV show back in 2013 at E3, and now we finally have a glimpse as to the contents of the story, what we can expect with the live-action quality and the story, and just how it's all going to really pan out. Firstly, I gotta say this before I start getting into the details. This is apparently taking place in a, quote, silver timeline. This is something that is not really taken directly from the story of the games, from the lore, that this is basically non-canon. However, it's going to be sticking pretty close to the actual story. So when you're watching this, do not consider it actual canon because things are changing. And I think a lot of things have changed, and ultimately, I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions about this and in detail. I don't really know what to think about this. Okay, so Season 1 is coming on March 24th. It's about, basically, it's not taking place the timeline of Halo Infinite, right, or anything like that. It's about them finding the rings and fighting off the Covenant. That's going to be pretty much the theme of Episode 1. So think maybe like Halo Reach, Halo 1 kind of timeline, probably more so Halo 1 to Halo 2 from the looks of it. There seems to be quite a lot of general audience pandering in this, which I'm a little bit concerned about, but maybe it's going to be okay. I actually looked at Paramount Plus. It looks like they have about 5 million viewers, which it maybe makes sense for them to maybe pander to the general audience. I never think that works ultimately. We've seen that with the games, and I think that you want to respect the base audience for Halo, because if you try to appeal to people that aren't Halo fans, you end up just making new Halo fans that are divided into what the actual franchise is about, and it ultimately ends up with no one being happy. If you're not super concerned about Halo staying true to its roots, I think you're probably going to enjoy this. As a Halo fan, I am a little bit concerned about the direction that they've taken. It seems like the narrative might be a little bit focused heavy on the politics side of everything. That's just a speculation, but there is actually one thing I really want to talk about that stood out to me. It seems that there is a human that is working with the Covenant, trying to get humanity to surrender to the Covenant. Now, this isn't canon, so maybe things have changed, but it's the whole thing about the Covenant is that they're trying to kill all the humans. So humanity surrendering isn't really much of a choice. They're going to kill them all. That's the whole point of the Covenant's attack on humanity. They're trying to wipe every single one out. I'm just wondering if this is going to be a compelling plot point in the story, or if it's just the generic, we have a human on the bad side working against humanity, and it's actually a really stupid idea that's going to play out in a really stupid, generic way. That doesn't actually make sense. Is it going to be cringe? A little bit concerned about it, but it looks like the Prophets are making an appearance. We saw that last time. We also see that the Arbiter is making an appearance, which is going to be really cool. I'm actually really excited about that. A lot of people have been saying that the Elite looks weird, that all the Elites look weird. I'm actually okay with it. Probably one of the better looking Elites that we've seen in live action, and probably one of the better looking aliens that we've seen, honestly, throughout live action. And I'm looking forward to that specifically. Another thing is, I want to say that Master Chief does activate a foreigner artifact, which seems to be leading to one of the Halo rings. It makes me wonder if they're going to explore the Flood. I know 343 and Microsoft is probably trying to get away from that with the M rating, but this is a TV show, so it makes me wonder if maybe they're going to take a more darker approach. So maybe in Season 2 they might explore that. We know Chief's team in this show is going to be other Spartan 2s, which we actually get a look at all their faces, which we've known for a while what the cast is going to be, but it's cool to see them in their armor now. But until now, these Spartan 2s have been unknown in the lore, so it's cool that even though that this isn't exactly canon, it looks like they're filling in some stuff for lore. If this is actually applicable to the lore, I don't know. Master Chief is actually going to have the civilian sidekick, it looks like. It's probably going to be, for the most part, where Master Chief is protecting her. I don't know if it's going to be so much of a sidekick thing, whereas he's just kind of escorting her. And we do see Cortana for a moment here. I don't know what to say other than that she looks a little bit human. and something's just a little bit off about her. She kind of looks wall-eyed and like a kind of a deadpan look in this image, or this clip anyway. I hope that's not how she looks. For the most time, she just doesn't look like it looks uncanny, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I really want to stress this point. Like, yes, I'm excited for this show. I'm a little bit concerned. That seems to be the general vibes of this show, actually, after looking at the comments and seeing what other people think, is that everyone's a little bit concerned about this. And honestly, I don't think there would be as much concern right now if there was an animated movie here or an animated TV series being announced and with the trailer. I say that for several reasons, but the main one is that every single Halo live action project just keeps coming off kind of uncanny. You know, there's just something off about it to me, and it just doesn't really fit the medium. I think this is why a lot of video game movies fail when they go into live action, is because they just don't really fit the scope and the visual cues that you need for it to really sell the way that it was written to sell, right? I mean, if we got a 2-hour Blur movie, for example, I think that could be a major theatrical release that could be enjoyed for many, many years. It would be iconic. But we have these shows that keep coming off as like kind of fan-made, kind of indie. They don't really quite have the budgets, the extremely high budgets that you would need to sell something of this scale. And also, I just think Halo looks better animated. You know, they could go with the Blur. They could even make a movie based with Halo Infinite cinematics. I mean, that was good enough probably for a movie, you know, or a TV series in this case. I just think it would look better in every way possible. I mean, we so much concern about this is the visuals, and you know, does this really look like Master Chief? Does it really sound like Master Chief? You know, does this universe really fit Halo? I think the visuals are absolutely amazing, but I don't know. There's just a lot of things to kind of like struggle with, and then they even changed the lore when they really didn't need to. Ultimately, I would love to see an animated movie or TV series that takes place between Halo 1 all the way up to maybe Halo Infinite, right? We could have big, of course, time jumps between seasons and kind of like recaps between seasons, but in this case, is this going to be a bad TV show? I have no idea. It's just like the Lord of the Rings. It's just like any other show that's been announced recently, honestly. It's going to be a hit, or it's going to be a major hit, or it's going to be a major miss. Like, from the looks of it, I don't know if it's going to be a hit with fans. Maybe it might be a hit with the general audience. That would probably be a first, but I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned about it. Is it going to be canceled after the first season if people don't enjoy it? I just wish they would learn from their lesson and make an animated movie or TV series, because I just think it would go over a lot easier. There'd be a lot easier things to just work out. But anyways, you guys let me know what you think about that. That's my probably unpopular opinion about this whole thing. But overall, I'm excited for it. A little bit worried about the human joining the Covenant aspect. It seems like it's kind of disobeying the logic and rules of the universe, but we'll see. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening to probably my shitty opinion about this. But I'll catch you soon, all right? Take care. Peace.